Live from Las Vegas, it's time for Fox 5 News at 11.
Murder. That's it. We don't mess around with this stuff. You know? If the people involved are watching this, better turn yourself in.
A man was shot and killed while on an RTC bus. What witnesses say happened before the shots were fired.
Chance of showers overnight and tomorrow? Yeah, certainly there's a chance out there for some rain, but the bigger story is those gusting speeds to potentially 50 miles an hour in the Las Vegas Valley. We'll give you more details on when those strongest gusts will take place on Friday.
It's finally here. Rogue One officially hit the big screen tonight. We'll have a look at a premiere celebration at the Palms and how they gave an epic experience to a little Star Wars fan.
This is Fox 5 News at 11. Local, Las Vegas.
A man was shot to death on an RTC bus tonight. I'm John Huck.
I'm Christine Medella. Police say 3 suspects are now on the run. Fox 5's Cindy Lundenberg is live near Pecos in Washington, where that bus is at the intersection there. Cindy.
Actually, Christine, after nearly 5 hours here on scene, police have left the area. Also, the bus, it was over here. It stopped right at this intersection of Washington and Pecos. Just about 10 minutes ago, they towed that bus away. So let's show you video from earlier tonight to kind of show you what the scene looked like at about 9 o'clock tonight. This is what police tell us. They say a man and a woman were aboard that RTC bus. They started to get in some sort of a physical fight with 3 other men. We're told that boyfriend punched one of those men in the face. The men then just got the bus driver's attention and asked the bus driver to pull over. As those 3 men were getting off the bus, police tell us one of the men pulled out a gun and shot that boyfriend in the stomach. That boyfriend later died. Police tell us the shooter is described as possibly 15 years old.
A lot of times of the time it's like a lot of people get in arguments and they don't know how the other person is. They don't know if they could be crazy or have like this incident. They didn't know, probably the other person that got shot, they didn't know that they had a weapon on them.
And police tell us after the shooting, those 3 suspects took off on foot. They are currently looking for them around this area near Pecos and Washington. Police also say, thankfully, that bus, it wasn't at full capacity when this shooting happened. But again, 3 men, the shooter is described as possibly 15 years old. The other 2 men he was with, 18 and possibly 20 years old. Reporting live, Cindy Lundenberg, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
All right, Cindy, thank you. A driver was critically hurt after a crash with a semi-truck. This happened around 5 p.m. near Simmons and Cary. Police say the pickup and semi-truck collided, but investigators have not said if speed or impairment were factors. The pickup driver was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
A hostage situation turned officer-involved shooting earlier this week lasted more than 5 hours, and it ended without any injuries.
And tonight we're learning more about that incident. Metro Police told us how they managed to de-escalate the situation and arrest the suspect without killing him. Fox 5's Miguel Martinez-Valle has video now showing the moments police were fired at and returned shots.
Police said today they couldn't be more proud of how officers handled that hostage situation, and they told us that the suspect, Edison Samara, was using one of the deadliest weapons that civilians can buy on the market. He was using that to fire at officers, and that's when officers started firing back.
There, you got Vigil!
It's not all that often that a suspect survives shooting at the police.
Police say this all started as a family argument between Edison Samara and his longtime girlfriend, who had a protection order against him.
Samara escalated the argument and eventually pulled out a handgun that he had on him, pointed it at his ex-girlfriend, and threatened to kill her, the children, and himself.
One of his kids stepped in and pushed Samara.
His mother was able to run out the back door, jump the back wall, ran away from the house to a neighbor's, and called 911.
But Samara's violent rampage didn't end there. He left his house and went to the neighbors. When they answered the door, he took the 2 men hostage.
Guns pointed at my head and my friend's head, and told us he was going to kill us and then kill himself.
He tried getting them to go upstairs, saying he felt safer there. That's when Doug Horwich decided to bolt.
Seized an opportunity to run out the front door into the street here.
Samara stepped out of the house, pointed the rifle, and fired several rounds at that fleeing male.
Police believe they were being shot at. Officer Paolo de Leon returned fire.
It's just absolutely unbelievable. And the amount of firepower that was being used against them is also unbelievable.
He missed. Police say they were shot at a second time during the standoff, but they didn't shoot back. 5 hours after the ordeal started, they were able to convince Samara to turn himself in.
To negotiate with a guy that took a hostage, that had fired on police officers for almost 3 hours is just absolutely remarkable.
Samara's girlfriend filed for the protection order earlier this month, and because of it, Samara's permit to carry was revoked. Back to you guys.
All right, Miguel, thank you. Samara is facing several charges, including kidnapping, assault with a deadly weapon, and burglary, among others.
Human remains were found in an open construction lot, and police say they could have been there for weeks. The remains were discovered around 12:30 this afternoon behind a fence near Russell and Arville. At first, police weren't even sure if they were human remains, but the coroner verified it was. Some of the remains were decomposed to the skeleton. Police say this is an area where homeless people have camped, but they do not know yet if the body was a homeless person. Tonight, dozens paid tribute to hundreds of homeless people who died on the streets of Las Vegas.
It was also a time to remember retired UNLV professor Leroy Pelton, who worked closely with the homeless. There was a vigil tonight outside the federal government building near Las Vegas Boulevard and Clark. It was started by Straight from the Streets after its founder passed away 2 years ago. A memorial also took place for 76-year-old Leroy Pelton, who was brutally murdered inside his home. The flags were at half-staff in honor of him. Pelton worked with Straight from the Streets. A volunteer says he gave to everyone around him.
Our hearts go out to a person that had the love of everyone, homeless, child abuse. He was a true spirit of help for other students, and we are just going to all really miss them. I tell you, everybody that knows them misses them.
Pelton also worked with the Forgotten Voice, Nevada's only homeless street paper. After the vigil, Straight from the Streets donated coats and kits to the homeless.
Well, we have enjoyed the warmer weather throughout the week, but a reality check is coming in the form of cold and wind.
Yeah, here's a look at our traffic cameras shaking in the wind tonight. Let's check in with FOX5 Chief Meteorologist Ted Pretty.
Yeah, big winds on the way. We mentioned this last night that the wind certainly looks like the biggest aspect with this storm, and that all starts in a matter of hours where we're going to see a long stretch of time with at least gusting speeds to 30 miles an hour. We'll show you what we expect as far as wind coming up. Some showers around the Las Vegas Valley about an hour ago, just enough to wet the streets in your front yard and those Christmas decorations out front. But that best chance of showers we have overnight is now moving well up the I-15 towards Mesquite and into Arizona and eventually into Utah. We still stand a chance of showers, of course, overnight tonight and through tomorrow, but it looks like that best chance has passed us by. In fact, a dry Las Vegas Valley right now, at least what it looks like on the radar picture currently. So that chance of showers overnight, but let's talk wind. We've dropped those gusts for a time, but they'll be back up over the course of the next few hours into the 30, 35 mile an hour range. Still warm out there at 57 degrees, but here's your wind advisory. That comes into play at 4 a.m. Now, all a wind advisory means is gusting speeds in excess of 40 miles an hour. We are going to get those gusting speeds to 40 miles an hour and higher, and potentially to 50 miles an hour tomorrow. We'll show you the best stretch of time where we expect those strongest gusts on your Friday. That's coming up. Send it back over to John and Christine.
All right, Ted. Thank you.
The Force is everywhere.
Rogue One, a Star Wars story, debuted at more than 4,100 theaters across the country this evening. Here in the Valley, a premiere party happened at the Palms Casino. Dozens came out in costume to celebrate the opening night at Brendan Theaters. But it's also a special night for a little boy named Brady, who is battling a life-threatening disease. The 8-year-old is a Star Wars fan and wanted to see the new movie. So, Brendan Theaters, Rogue Toys, Zappos, Yelp, and Heartfelt Heroes put together a special night for him. An entire theater was reserved just for him, his friends, and family.
Obviously, you get the warm, fuzzy feelings, let's be honest, but it is great to be able to make a difference, especially using things we love, like making costumes and playing dress-ups. And so to be able to take those talents and do something for someone else, it feels really good. And this one is definitely special and really emotional because, you know, the situation of this child.
And Brady got to take pictures with the Stormtroopers and Darth Vader. Rogue One Toys and Zappos also worked together to give him Star Wars toys and games.
So to see the community come together, and of course for me, I mean, yeah, you know, when I do an event like this, it's about promoting my business. It's an opportunity to reach out to Star Wars collectors and fans everywhere. But more importantly tonight, it was about giving this kid one night that he can truly remember, and for his family to just have an experience that, you know, can last their lifetime.
And the Build a Saber station plans to donate any money raised tonight to Brady's family. Speaking of Star Wars, some stormtroopers and a Mandalorian took a break from serving the First Order.
Today, they visited patients at the hospital. That group surprised pediatric patients in Idaho and also had some time to sing a little Christmas carol. The stormtroopers chatted with the kids, then took pictures with them. They hope the visit will cheer up the patients and help relieve stress for the staff.
We're all a bunch of people. We care about, you know, we want to make people smile. We want to have fun. We love Star Wars, and we want to share that with everybody. Bye.
The stormtroopers say this is one of many planned appearances through the holidays. No word yet on if Darth Vader plans to pay a visit.